I don't know. You tell me. We are KoJack's Live. It is Thursday, so we've got Charlie's game here going on. A little 1-2 action. Things are getting crazy. We are not doing a round of each. We are just doing no limit hold'em, everybody. No limit hold'em. And I think this is going to be very exciting. We got a lot of new faces out there for today. So this is going to be a lot of fun. We're going to have a good time. It is Thursday, everybody. Hopefully you're having a good day. I know things have been a little crazy lately for just about everybody that I've been talking to, but you know, my friends and family, I don't know, something in the stars or what have you. But it does look like we've set aside enough time to play some 1-2. I got to say, I am really looking forward to it. We're going to be going crazy with this 1-2 game. We got our dealer Tech in the box, getting ready to shuffle things up. One of my favorite dealers, of course. And again, a lot of new faces out there for today. Now, we're going to be starting off here 8-handed, but we have a few more players getting ready to join. Of course, we're on a 15-minute delay to protect the integrity of the game. And I do happen to have a window into the future, at least for now. And I do know that 2 players will be showing up here before too long. We've got Cole in seat 1, Mr. Tony B in seat number 2, Will taking up seat 3, Mr. No Name in seat 4. Sorry, No Name is in seat 1. Oh, that's what's happening. We're going by chip counts. All right. Seat 1 is Mr. No Name. He's coming in for 180. Seat 2 is Mr. Cole. He's coming in for 200. Seat 4, we got Tony B. He's coming in for 200, as well as Will, who will be in seat 5. Jesse JC in seat number 7. We got Fabian in seat 8. I believe this is not his first time on the live stream. And we are joined by John Wayne. Wait. I got to move those buttons around. And Ralph in seat number 10. Ralph will be coming in for a cool $100. But we have plenty of money there ready to start things off. And we've got plenty of cards ready to fly around. And we've also got a lot of action coming our way. We're gonna have a good time tonight. We're gonna have some fun. Thanks for joining us, everybody. Starting to see a few viewers lining up here. Go ahead and give me a little like there on the button there. Give me a little comment. Let me know where you're watching from. First couple of people in the chat will get an air horn. That's what I'm trying to say here. Hopefully I don't make the wrong button, but we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. We are getting ready here for the first hand. Again, I've got a little window into the future here. We're running on a 10-minute delay, so I just happen to know that hand number 2, in the words of the great IT guru Chris himself, is a doozy. So I am waiting patiently to find out just what kind of a doozy it may be. We got Mr. John Wayne dragging the first pot right there. Pocket 9's going to do it, raising it up to $23 under the gun. And then here comes hand number 2. Everybody get ready. I wish I had a drum roll button because this, I'm told, is a doozy. And we got Tech in the box, one of my favorite dealers. We got a couple of dealers on staff today. We've got a 5 on the button running in the main room, and we are live streaming here this 1-2 game. So it should be pretty good. We got Mr. Andy coming in there, seat number 3. He's got a Shiner Bach, an excellent choice. Andy coming in for $200. That is the max at our 1-2 games. And it looks like we've got a fold under the gun, a call +1, and a raise to 15 out of the +2 spot. And Mr. Cole raising it up with the 8-6 offsuit. Love to see it right there. Andy folding the K6. Tony B with the Ace-Jack. He's got the Jack of spades, not the Ace of spades, but Will does fold the Ace of spades. If it's me, I'm going all in. Fabian with the mystery hand. He does elect to fold. John Wayne in the big blind getting a discount. He's going to make the call. And it looks like we are going to be off to the races here. Here comes that flop. King 8, 8-6, Ace Jack, Queen 10. This is certainly leaving up a lot of room for some poker to be played here post-flop. And here we go. That flop has a face card on it. I see it. It's a king. No name. Spike and top pair. We've got the 8-6 for Cole with 2 pair, and you never see that coming. Cole, I got to say, smacking the deck right there. He's going to raise right on top of that. It's a $32 bet that Cole is facing from No Name. And Cole raising it up to at least 64. Raised to 80. And John Wayne all in to call. He's got 41 behind. He is going to make the call. No Name going all in, and Cole going all in as well. Couple of pots right here. Mr. Tech going to get everything right. And look at this. This is shaping up to be a doozy already. King 8, 2 pairs there. Cole 8-6, 2 pairs there. John Wayne looking for a couple of running cards here, but he is live for those hearts and for a straight. Couple of possibilities. Hey, nothing's funner than going runner. Tech calculating the pots here, getting the side pot together. 3 players in. It should be 2 different pots. Maybe a little change going back to Mr. Cole right there. Oh, and I hear some celebrations on the other side of the wall. I guess in about 15 minutes, we're going to find out what that's all about. All right, the turn is a 5 of hearts. John Wayne looking to try and get that flush. And the river is a 9. 2 pairs for No Name is going to take it down. Kings and 8s beats 8s and 6s. And No Name in for all of it. He's going to scoop-a-rooper the whole thing. Boom. And that's how it's done. Second hand, John Wayne is ready to buy back in. You'd love to see it. And it looks like we've got Mr. Jesus coming in. He'll be in seat number 6 right there, wearing a red shirt. And there we go. You see the add-on right there. $200 is the max. Of course, you can top up to that $200 mark at any point in the game. Just can't go above it with actual cash. If you buy in for $200, for example, and double up, of course, that is totally legal. That is just fine and actually a good reason to celebrate. Love getting those double ups, or as Brady and his crew, double up. And we do have a couple of viewers in the chat. No comments so far. Nobody wants to break the ice. Nobody wants to be the first. I don't blame you. That's okay. We are ready for some poker tonight. It is Thursday. Thirsty Thursday. I'll be honest with you. I did miss the liquor store run. I think I'm going to be here until they close. Hey, we got AK in the chat. AK leaving the first comment. A couple of laughing faces. Love to see it. Hey, glad you're having a good time with us, buddy. Oh, man. Where you at? I didn't see you in here today, man. You coming by anytime soon? AK, one of our great players here. And it looks like No Name under the gun. Going to be calling with the J7. Tony B with the King 8, Jesse JC King 4, and Fabian holding the same hand as No Name. He's got the Jack 7. Ahmed, not much, my friend. Good to see you. Yeah, just, making this live stream happen, having a good old time. Ahmed says he just got off work. He's going to be there soon. Love to see it. We got a 5 on the button running right now. Depending on when you get here, you may have a seat at the 1-2 game in the live stream as well. Totally up to you. John Wayne with the ace-5, but he does have the 5 of spades, not the ace of spades. I say it every time. If I get that ace of spades, I'm going all in. And we did see a raise to 6. That means $32 in the middle. John Wayne with a blind bet of $6. I love to see that as well. Tony B making top pair, out-kicking Jesse JC. Both No Name and Fabian with a pair of 7s. But Fabian does fold. John Wayne with just ace high gets out of there after Tony B re-raises. Just a little min click. And there we go. Checks the deuce on the turn. Tony B betting out another 15, keeping the aggression up. I like to see that. And there's a 4 on the river. Jesse spikes to pair. Tony B now behind, had an almost lock on this hand. Jesse going all in for his remaining $60 after facing a $25 bet from Tony B. Tony B only 35 more to call. Can he give up? This is one of those spots where it's almost certain that you know you're beat, but you're getting such a good price. $35 more to potentially win 189. But he does make the correct fold, not putting any more money in that pot. And Jesse is going to drag that pot. Jumping on in. You love to see it. And now Mr. Jesse is up to 189. We've got Mr. Jesus jumping on in, buying in for 196. He is officially on there. We are playing 10-handed right now. No Name, the big chip leader right now, 446 after doubling up with a better 2 pair than Cole. Cole coming right back on in for 200 more. AK says he'll be here in about 10 minutes, everybody. I think this is going to be a good night for poker. A good night for West Texas. I think it's a full moon. Am I wrong on that? I think it's close to a full moon, if not entirely full. Andy making the call, limping in with the ace-9 suited. I like that. Ace-9 of diamonds. Maybe hoping somebody else will raise it up. And Jesus with the pocket 10s may do the betting for him. Ralph, though, just immediately going all in with the pocket kings. This looks like another doozy of a hand. Moses, I believe we're going to be going. We got started a little bit late tonight. I believe we may be going till 8:30. Usually we'll typically go for about 2 hours after the stream starts. So we'll have to see. I believe it's 8:30 because we started up around 6:30. Jesus with the pocket 10s, no choice but to call. He is way behind, though, unfortunately. And Jesse JC getting out of there. Kings versus 10s, all in, $98 per player, 222 in the middle. A little change being made. Moses saying grassy ass. Yes, indeed. That's funny. That was our favorite saying in high school Spanish class. And here we go, off to a flop. It is 9-6-4. Looks like we're running 2 boards here. There's a queen on the turn. No help to Jesus, still behind. 10s are, one of them is live. And there's run out number 1. That run out going to Mr. Ralph with the pocket kings. 8-8-5 on the second flop. Jesus needing a little bit of help. There's a 7 there. Still drawing to just one of the 2 remaining 10s, and it's a queen on the river. Ralph getting the full double up, then some, adding to his chip stack. He shows the kings. He gets the check mark, and he gets both of those pots. Jesus on the line for about $98 more. Getting a correct chip count from Tech right there. And there we go. Moving on to the next one. We've already seen a couple of all-ins. We're only on hand number 5. I told you this is going to be a wild game. This 1-2 game certainly does not disappoint if you're looking for action-packed poker. And we got a couple of games running right now. We got MLB. We got NFL. We got, I think, 15 different TVs here. I want to say all of them are tuned to different games. So if you want to watch the game, have a beer, maybe play some cards, come check us out. We're going to be having a good time all night tonight. We don't close until the game breaks. And I think tonight might be a late one. I think we've got a good couple of players getting ready to show up here. Andy looking down at the pocket 9s this time. Sipping on that Shiner Bock. We got a cameo from Chris in the background. It's the musical episode tonight. Will with the 8-5 makes the call. Jesus with the 8-7. JC with the 4-3. Now, it looks like we do have another raise to 11 out there. Mr. No Name in seat number 1. Out of the small blind, raising it up. And he's got the pocket jacks. Flop comes out. 4-tray deuce. Pretty safe for something like pocket jacks or pocket 9s. Will with a pretty good draw there. Any 6 or ace will get him a straight. He just doesn't particularly want the ace or 6 of clubs. So Will is going to go ahead and bet for protection here. 25 is the bet. Or sorry, No Name going to bet out there for protection as well. Also doesn't want that overcard, for example, that queen to come. He's going to bet another 20. Following up, Andy making the call. Again, pretty safe board for something like pocket 9s. Will with the 8-5 does decide to chase his straight. He's looking for a card. And a couple more on the deck that'll give him the win. It's a 7 of spades on the river. No Name gets the check mark. And it looks like he's already bet out $25 even before that card hit the board. He gets a call from Andy, a snap call. And Will makes the correct fold there with just 8 high. No Name gets that check mark. Andy tables the 9s, but the chips go to No Name. And he's chipping up. Hand number 5. We've already seen 2 all-in hands. Multi-way all-in hands. And No Name seems to come out on top. Just about all of them. About tripling up from his $200 buy. $594 in No Name stack. Ralph in second place, up $222. Cole up to the $196. And we got Mr. Andy adding back on $117 in his stack currently. Looks like he's going to top up near or to that $200 maximum for our 1-2 games. Now, we just finished up our Permian Basin Poker Series, but we've got some pretty cool things coming around. We had our first game of Crazy Pineapple last night. We had our first tournament. I heard great things. It was actually off for the first time in a while. So I stayed home and played poker online. That Crazy Pineapple, though, I heard went really, really well. That is a fun game. If you haven't tried it, you get 3 cards to start off with. You bet just like normal. You see a flop just like normal, except then after the flop comes out, you have to discard one of the cards from your hand. And then betting resumes play as normal. It becomes basically Texas Hold'em right after the flop, after you discard one of your 3 cards. Tony B with the Queen 9, Will with the 10-9, and Jesus with the King 10, and Jesse JC suited King 10. There's another king in John Wayne's hand. So 3 of them are out of play. Cole trying to make Charlie happy. It is Charlie's game, after all. He's got the 5-3 in the small blind. And there we go. We got a call. And another call. We are off to the flop here. 5 ways to the flop. $62 in the middle. Shaping up to be a decent pot. That board looks like it may have an ace on it. Hard exactly to see. Oh, it's a 6 and a king and an 8. Jesus and Jesse are in the lead for now. Any 7 will give Will the straight, though. Players proceeding with reckless abandon. Jesus betting his top pair. Jesse JC calling. And Will trying to make a straight here on this board. Let's see what the turn brings. Hasn't called yet. Still thinking it over. He's going to put his money in the middle. $25 to potentially win 112. Decent odds right there, about 4.5 to 1. And there's a 5. A 5 of diamonds on the turn. Brings home a flush draw. Jesus with his King 10, his King of Diamonds, is going to go all in. And it looks like Jesse JC snap called, unless I'm mistaken. I thought I saw him throw a chip in immediately. Yes, indeed. Jesse JC making the snap call. Action over to Will. 53 to call. That's about half of his stack. This is a cash game, though. We're not facing any tournament eliminations. And Will gets out of the way. Jesse JC showing the king. Jesus showing the King 10. Oh, and it's a chop pot. That S stands for split. The 6 would not have given Will his straight. It does pair the board. A lot of aggressive play here so far on this Thursday. I'm going to pull up the moon chart and see if it is a full moon. We'll call it full moon Thursday if it is. Tech, our dealer, chopping up that pot with ease, distributing the chips as they are supposed to be distributed. I believe the moon, according to my preliminary Google results, is a waxing gibbous. That means we are not quite to the full moon. The 17th is the full moon. That is today. It is a full moon. The moon is 15 days old, and the full moon phase of its lunar cycle, it is 99% eliminated. And we have our chief lunar correspondent here, as well as IT guru, Mr. Chris himself, saying it's a supermoon. Maybe that's why this game is so action-packed out there right now. 7-6 for No Name. 10-4 for Cole making the call. J9 for Andy. Tony B trying to make a win with that 7 deuce. But John Wayne is the raiser to $6 with the Queen Jack offsuit. Fabian with the 10-9. Jesse JC looking for some hearts, as is Mr. Cole. We are 7 ways to the flop, and the flop comes out King 10-4, 2 clubs. John Wayne up and down. Andy looking for a queen. Pair of 10s for Mr. Fabian. Two pair for Cole, though, pulling ahead. That could change at any moment. And it is Fabian who's going to bet his pair of tens. $8 is the bet, 50 in the middle. John Wayne making the call with his straight draw. Cole going to come along for the ride. It looks like it is a raise to 25. Jesse JC making the fold right there. Fabian faced with a decision. And he's got a couple of chips. Let's see if they go in the middle. He's thinking about it. Second pair. Potential flush draw. Potential straight draws. And he does make the call. Mr. John Wayne here up and down with the queen of clubs. He also comes along for the ride. We are 3 ways to the turn. It's a 2 of spades. Not completing any straight or flush for any player. Cole staying aggressive. Pedal to the metal. $60 is the bet. And he shows the 2 pair and gets those chips. Climbing back. No name, the runaway chip winner so far tonight. Mr. Jesse JC in third place. Ralph in second. Fabian down just a small $40. Jesus down slightly less small, 77. Andy down 91. Will down 93. Mr. John Wayne down 128. But Cole clawing back a little closer, down 110 after winning that pot. And we've seen these chips flying around already at a moment's notice. So it's only going to take a couple pots for some of these players that are stuck for now to jump back into the green. Mr. No Name seems like he's locking up those chips, though. Doing a pretty good job putting them away in the lockbox. Jesus with the 6 deuce. He's going to make the call for $2. Jesse JC, a suited king. Looks like he's raising it up to 4. Clicking it back. No Name now with the queen jack offsuit. It's going to 3-bet it up to 12. Cole with the A tray going to make the call. He is suited. Will with the ace 10 playing as well. We've got $61 in the middle. We've got 5 players headed to the flop. Flop is 6-6-8. Jesus spiking trips right there on the flop. He's also got that backdoor flush draw, but he would be beat by Cole's ace-high flush if more clubs were to come on the turn in the river. No Name betting out, or sorry, calling 4. Cole's going to raise it up, though. He likes his ace. Jesus with the smooth call, it looks like. I'll let the other players do the betting for him. And there's a 4 on the turn. Doesn't change too much. Does potentially bring in straights like 5-7. When you're 5 ways to the flop, you never know. 5-7 of hearts may be on there. 5-7 of clubs or spades. Cole going to bet it. Jesus putting together a call. And he stays smooth call. He will be out of position on this ace here. Could be one of the worst cards for Cole, but the fact that it's a heart may actually save him some money. If he puts Jesus on a flush draw, calling him down so far, $60 is the bet. Jesus now faced with the decision. Does he put Cole on a flush draw? It looks like he's thrown it in. Kind of a crying call there. If you got hearts, you got hearts, but Jesus shows the 6. Cole says, you're good. Jesus chipping back up. Jesus in the green right now, up $73 on the session after winning that pot. Jesus up to $272 in his stack. Cole losing down to $165. Still a decently healthy stack. These players able to buy in for 100 big blinds. Not exactly deep stack poker, but surely not shallow stacked. Still got a couple of viewers in the live streams. Thanks for watching, everybody. We're having a good time tonight. It is a full moon. That means it's full moon Thursday. And these players really playing like it. Jesse JC with the queen 4 is making the call. He's limping in. Ralph with the queen jack suited. Makes the call as well. Basil in the chat, watching from North Korea. Oh, come on. When in doubt, just push all the buttons. What's going on, Basil? How is North Korea these days? I heard tensions are ramping up between North and South Korea. Hopefully you're doing all right on the demarcated zone. Flop is king 9-8. Jesus with a pair of 9s. No player holding a king, but there's a deuce of spades right there on the turn. Andy needs to just go all in. He's got the ace of spades. Instead, it's Jesus who's betting out. He likes his second pair, at least enough to bet $7. That should get quite a few folds. Ralph looking for a 10, but he decides to fold, not chasing the straight. Andy getting out of there. Tony B, he will be in the next pot. And Will folding as well. Jesus dragging another small pot, $21 headed his way. Not bad for throwing in $2. And we've got a dealer change right here. Mr. Robert coming at you. One of my favorite dealers. No Name still on top of the chip count leaderboard. He's got the most chips in play, and he's also won the most so far on this section. Up to 570. Jesus up to 284. Ralph up to 220. Andy at 190. Jesse JC 186. John Wayne down to $57. But that is still a fair few big blinds. Still got enough time to wait patiently, sort out exactly where he can find the best spot to double up. Chris Gwynn, our chief lunar correspondent and IT guru, is not in the booth with me. He's actually in Turkmenistan. And speaking of Chris, Cole's got the 5 deuce. Not Chris's favorite hand, but he claims to have won a lot of money with it. I say, why stop now? Keep playing it. And so does Mr. Cole. Andy raising it up to $10. Tony B 3-betting. Just another min click back to 20 with his pocket kings. The Cowboys are coming out. Jesus with the 6-4, getting sticky. He's got a couple of new chips. He's going to play them. He's going to let his money work for him. Cole with the 5 deuce also coming along. Andy, the ace-9, makes the call as well. We are 4 ways to the flop. A huge range of hands from pocket kings all the way down to 5 deuce suited. Let's see who hits this flop. 9-6-4. Jesus getting 2 pair. He felt good about that hand pre-flop. Now, as long as that board doesn't pair the 9s, Jesus will stay ahead. 1 heart on there for Cole. He still needs running hearts. He's in the running to potentially win this pot. Andy with a pair of 9s. He's got top pair, top kicker, but Tony betting $40 with an overpair. Jesus going all in, putting all of these players to the test. Andy with the ace-9, faced with the decision. Top pair, top kicker, rainbow board. He does put the rest of his chips in, and Tony B says, what the heck? I guess I've got no choice but to go all in. Tough call to make. You have an all in and a call ahead of you. Tony B only $76 behind. I guess getting a good price there with his pocket kings. Pretty generally safe run out, but Jesus really just seems like he can't lose in these past couple of hands. Getting 2 pair here. And now that, oh man, Tony B showing the kings and Jesus flipping over the 6-4. Andy showing the ace-9. Turn card's an 8. Completing the rainbow, and a 5 on the river. Jesus picks that up with 2 pair. Chips up even further. We have a new chip leader. Jesus up to 596. Our previous chip leader, Mr. No Name, up to 568. Even after dragging that pot, though, Jesus not the big winner on the day. Up about $85. Mr. No Name still takes the title of the biggest winner on the session so far. Up 390, Ralph up 120, Jesse JC up 92, and Jesus just above even at $85 in the green. Yeah, we've got an add-on here. Looks like Andy will be coming back right on in, putting cash on the table. This is an absolutely wild live stream game. It's a full moon. We've got all ins for the majority of the 10 hands that we've played so far. Oh, talk about action. If you want to play in this game, it looks like we've got a seat open. Add your name to the list, and we will be able to fill it accordingly. And we do go live for about 2 hours on each session. But this game runs for hours and hours and hours after the live stream ends. And with action like that, it's pretty obvious why this game runs for so long after the stream ends. So if you want to come out, even after the live stream is over, chances will be good this game is still going on. And again, a lot of new faces here to our live stream game. Oh, never mind. Seat not open. We've got another $200 flying onto the table. Andy does have his phone on the table. We'll have to correct that here. Watch out in about 15 minutes. For those of you watching who have not played at our live stream table, the cards are RFID cards. They use a near-field communication to communicate to the table and our software to display everything. A lot of phones are equipped with NFC chips, and it can interfere with the reading on the table. So we ask that all players do not bring their phones to the table. We've got a little storage area for phones. You're free to get up and check them anytime you want to, just as long as they are away from the table. And here we go. Will with the Queen Jack raising it up. $12 right there. Jesus getting out of there. Not calling this time. Doesn't have a good feeling about it. No Name feeling good about the 8-5, though. Cole feeling good about the King Deuce. And we are off to the flop here. 9, 7, 3, 2 diamonds. No players holding 2 diamonds. No flush draws as of yet. Now it looks like Andy going to bet out the 8-6. He's got a gutter ball. Will going to fold the 2 overcards. We've got 8-5 versus 8-6 here. Both players with a gut shot. Holding each other's outs. Now both players up and down. 20 is the bet. 20 is the call. We're off to a river. It's another 10. Andy, slightly higher kicker for the 8 high. Gets the check mark. It looks like, yeah, he throws out a bluff. Bluffing with the best hand. No name cannot call. He must fold. And there you go. Andy getting closer to even, up to 274. We got Monkey Lamb in the chat watching from Culiacan. Did I say that right? I hope so. Really testing the geography skills. If you know where Culiacan is on the map, just push 1 in the chat, I guess. There's no way to prove it. And no name now with the 8-5. Once again, looks like the same hand here. Cole's 9-4 coming along for the ride. Tony B, King 7, Will King 5. Jesus with the 10 tray. We will call these speculative hands, not marginal hands. John Wayne showing up with the real hand here, the ace. He does have the ace of spades. He does throw out a green chip. Is that an all-in or just a raise? Raise to 27. Doesn't want to scare off all of the potential customers. But these are exactly the kind of hands that will get you in trouble. JD Rodriguez saying 0 in the chat. Does not know where Culiacan is. I'm not even sure that's a real place. Cole making the call. Jesse JC really thinking about it. He likes his King 5. And he does fold. And we are off to a flop. Heads up. Ace-ace versus 9-4. Ace-ace, the runaway lead to win this hand. But there is 1 diamond on there, as well as a 6 and a 7. John Wayne puts the rest of his chips in the middle. Almost the rest of his chips. It looks like he holds on to one of them. And he'll take it down. John Wayne himself, the cowboy. Moses Gonzalez saying Juan. Put Juan in the chat if you know where it is. Basil saying Poker Face Superman watching from San Luis. I don't know if I can say that. I don't exactly know the last word. Looks like a Spanish word. It resembles a curse word. I don't exactly know how cursing in other languages goes on the streaming platform, so I'm going to avoid it just in case. And now Tony B with the pocket rockets. He's got the ace of spades here. Andy making the call for 12. Tony B smooth calling for 12. Jesus with the 9-8. Jesse JC 10-8. It's time of diamonds. 2 players with suited hands, Andy and Jesse JC. Tony B with the overpair of overpairs. Flop comes out with 2 diamonds and a king. Jesse looking for that flush draw. No players holding king. Checks over to Tony B. Bets 50. Almost a pot-sized bet. Jesse JC asking, what do you got in your stack? Is it going to be worth my time to call and hopefully hit this flush? Counting out a couple of chips in his stack, thinking about it, weighing his options. And he folds. No name getting out of the way, as is Andy. Tony B taking down that pot. Good protection bet there. Getting the rest of the players to fold, not allowing that flush draw to come in. And he is chipping up. Tony B still in the red for now. Down 139 after dragging that pot, but he is catching up, getting closer. Cole with a little more work to do, down 274 on the session. Andy down 221. Jesus, the big winner, up 383, and No Name up 327. Ralph up 116, Jesse JC up 75. These chips are flying around the table, though. Only takes one hand to come all the way back, potentially get a double up. Tony B and Will both holding diamonds. 8 deuce for Tony B, 9-4 for Will. Tony B folding. Will making the call. Will he call? Yes, he will. Jesus with the 8-4, staying sticky. Jesse JC raising to 20. Good raise with the ace-jack. Thinning the field a little bit. No Name with the ace of spades. Just makes the call. Will gets out of there. Jesus folds as well. We are heads up. Ace Trey versus Ace Jack. Jesse about a 2-1 favorite here. Flop comes out. Queen high. Queen 10-7. No spades for No Name. And there's a 7 of clubs on the turn, pairing the board. Jesse with the ace of clubs. And a 9 on the river. Jesse gets the check mark. Will likely go check here on the river. No Name checking his option. Jesse bets 10. No Name calls. A little bit of thin value there. Ace high versus ace high. Jesse with a pair of 7s. A queen, ace, and jack kicker. And he'll scoop a little bit of money. Got some chips headed his way. $65 in that pot. And we've been streaming for about 45 minutes, everybody. Thank you for joining us on this full moon Thursday. Apparently a super moon. People get a little crazy with those full moons. Tony B, this time with the 7-6. That's one of my favorite suited connectors right there, the 7-6. Pretty strong hand. He is not suited. Neither is Will with the 7-5. Jesus with the Jack-9. Jesse with the Jack-8. Fabian throwing the 9-5 away. Doesn't like the Dolly Parton hand. Cole coming along for the ride with the offsuit Ace-4. Tony B needs to call a couple more dollars to get in there. Will doing the same. And we are 5 ways to that flop. $41 in the middle. 10-9 deuce. Jesse JC. Up and down. Jesus with a pair of jacks. Tony B with a gut shot. But it is Jesus betting $10. He's got a pair of 9s. Best hand right now. Heads up to the turn. An ace comes off. The ace of clubs. Jesus improves. Pair of 9s and the flush draw. Up against Jesse JC's straight draw. Looking for a queen or a 7. Jesus betting $20. Jesse with just jack high at this point. He's got the draw. Hello. But does he call? He does indeed. We're going off to a river card. It's a 10. Jesus with the check mark. Pair of 9s, pair of 10s, and an ace kicker. Check, check on the river. Jesus taking down another pot right there. 643 in his stack now after dragging another $101. And we got Frank in the chat. Hey, I pushed the right button that time. Frank checking in from Bob Oso in New Mexico, which means Bob the Bear. Yes, indeed. Says the moon looks sick right now, too. You can see it on the east horizon. Love when the moon is on the horizon, when it's really big in the sky, kind of a reddish color. One of my favorite sights. A lot of good, spectacular sights in West Texas, and that is one of them. We're pretty flat. We don't have a lot of trees out here. Not always the best scenery, but it really helps out when you're trying to watch the moon and the sunrise, things like that. Huge sky out here. Very cool to view that moon. Frank, I'm going to have to go check that out here in a second. No name. Got the ace-8. Jesus with the K9. That's a pit bull terrier today. Was making a joke with some coworkers the other day talking about how I name the K9 a different dog breed every time. I'm allergic to dogs. I didn't grow up with a dog. I don't know that many breeds. Maybe I should have stopped that. Kind of need to expand my dog breed vocabulary before we continue down that road. We got 16 in the middle and about 16 players in this hand. 7-4-4 is the flop. John Wayne betting it out, 10-5. Not a whole lot to call here. It is one of those situations, though. If you bet and get called, you're probably in trouble. Fabian with the heart draw. Let's see if he gets aggressive with this one. He checks it over to John Wayne. John Wayne checks it back. Off to the river. Comes a 10, not a heart. John Wayne actually improving to the best hand. Andy betting. Fabian, 30 to call. John Wayne, can he call with his pair of 10s? Good bluff by Andy, really representing that 4. John Wayne sniffs it out instantly, calls it down, gets the check mark and the pot. John Wayne getting those chips. Basil saying Jack Terrier probably should be. Yeah, all right. We'll go with that. The Jack Terrier is the K9 hand of the day. I like Ralph's shades. Those are good poker playing sunglasses right there. Looks like some Oakleys. A big fan of that design at the poker table. I had some Pit Vipers for a little while before they broke. They were good for the poker table also. Trying not to give anything away. That looks like Mr. Andy not chipping up in chips, but topping up in beverages. Love to see that. We are a BYOB club if you have not been by. We've got plenty of fridge space for you to bring whatever your heart desires. Go ahead and stick that in the fridge. We'll write your name on it, and we'll even run back there and grab it for you so that you don't miss a hand. A couple of people drinking some Jameson Orange the other day, something I'd never heard of before. I was on the clock, so I did not get to take a sip, but it smelled pretty tasty when I was pouring it. And it's Thirsty Thursday, full moon Thirsty Thursday. Let me know what you're sipping on if you have begun already. If you're at the poker table, hey, why not loosen up a little bit with maybe a Shiner Bock, maybe some Jameson Orange. And we're 4 ways to the flop this time. 53 in the middle, 8-8-7 comes out. Tony B with a pair of 7s, but Ralph spiking trips already. This has been night of the living trips. Looks like Tony B putting together a bet, and he does. He's got the 7. He's got the queen of diamonds. Jesus getting away from the 9 tray. Ralph thinking about it with those shades. Putting out a raise. A chunky raise. 56, 57. Tony B. Got to decide if his 7 is good here. Ralph just going for it with the immediate raise, trying to pile as many chips in the middle as he can. Determined that this was the right time to go ahead and do so. But it does scare Tony off. He's out of there. Now Ralph picking up that pot right there. He's up 171 on the session right now. Doing pretty well for himself. Pulling up that chip count winnings leaderboard here. Jesus still on top, up 430. No Name down to about 300 in profit. Ralph up 171. Jesse JC up 68. John Wayne, a small amount of work to do. Fabian holding the 5-3 there in terms of the chip change there. And Jesus with the J9. Jesse with the Ace-9. Both players suited. Both players holding red cards, though they are different suits. Ralph with the 6 tray, folds. Big raise from under the gun from Jesus. No Name with the pocket 5 is going to go set mining here. Got his pickaxe ready to go. Cole with the queen tray of hearts. Tony B with the jack 10 of diamonds. A lot of diamonds, a lot of hearts. We see one of each on the flop. 2 3s and an 8. Cole with trips this time.
C10 should be the big blind. C10 should be the big blind.
C10 should be the big blind. About 15 minutes.
We have the dead small blind. Or skip the dead small and do 2 bigs.
No Name betting 15, but getting a call from Cole, Tony B, and Jesse JC. See if John Wayne wants to come along for the ride. No, he does fold. Cole hoping for another 3 or a queen. It's a 4 instead, a 4 of diamonds. Tony B, Jesse JC, both with flush draws, but Tony does not want the diamonds to come home. No Name making the call. Thinks his pair of 5s is good. A non-believer. Cole betting out. Looks like 60. Raising it up here. Gets a call. Cole is calling. No Name makes the fold, does not want to commit another 50 or so chips into the middle. It's a deuce, a blank on the river. Cole with the check mark here, goes all in for the rest of it. Tony B, Jesse JC going to have a hard time calling there. Tony gets out of the way. Jesse folds as well. Cole turns over the queen first. I like that. Good move there. And Cole chipping up. Now down only $56 on the session so far. He is very close to even. Just one more pot. Could get him there. Jesus still the big winner here. Jesse JC only down $19. Andy Tony B with a lot of work to do here. But it is not over yet by any stretch. We've reached about the halfway mark for our live stream. Been going strong for an hour. Got a good couple of viewers in the chat. A lot of dedicated viewers, a lot of familiar faces in the chat. A lot of new faces at the 1-2 game. This is Charlie's game. Ralph with the ace Quisha. Jesus with the ace jack. And Jesse JC, speaking of Charlie's game, is holding the Charlie hand himself. 5 tray, this time of clubs. John Wayne making the call. 22 more. Jesus raising it up. Ralph with the decision here. He decides to fold. Folds the ace-queen. Jesus been playing a good, decent number of hands. Not really being too aggressive, but it looks like his 3-bet gets a lot of respect at this table. We are 3 ways to the flop. 112 in the middle. Ace, jack, 10. How do you like that? Jesus with 2-pair again. And that really would have cost Ralph a lot of money. With ace, queen high. John Wayne making the fold. Andy with his pocket sixes. Going to have a hard time calling that. Jesus. 2-pair Jesus. Just gets there on the flop. And he gets another pot. Already the chip leader. Jesus now up $500 on the session. I need to find me some chips and jump into this game. This is juicy. And here's a look at the stack sizes here. This board is all spades right here. Jesse JC all in to call. He's got top pair, top kicker. He's got a straight draw. But he is behind Cole's 2-pair. Cole with an aggressive bet here. As JC folds, it looks like one of the cards was exposed. Just did a quick walk around the room. We've got 2 games running in addition to this live stream game. Looks like a 5 on the button. Maybe a 1-2 round of each. Check on what old Poker Atlas says. If you haven't signed up for Poker Atlas just yet, make sure to go ahead and do that. Great way to add yourself to the list for any of our games from the comfort of your own home. You'll receive a page when your seat is available. Also a good way to check out which tournaments that we've got, which things will be running. Saturday looks like our next tournament. Got that bounty tournament coming back at you. 3K guarantee. $50 bounties will be in play for every player that you knock out. You get a bounty biscuit. Redeem those at the tournament window for $50 in cash. $200 entry. Let's knock out a couple of players. Get your buy-in paid for. We are running a 1-2 table and a 5 on the button table right now. Come check us out. We're having a good time today. It is Full Moon Thursday, Thirsty Thursday. Andy raising it up with the ace-10 to $10. Jesus, let's see if he's got a good feeling about this hand. 4 deuce. And he does elect to call. 3 ways to the flop. Ace there. Ace, 8, 7, 2 spades. Jesus with the flush draw. Jesse and Andy both with top pair, though. Jesse is out-kicked by Andy. Jesse goes all in for his remaining $20, or rather $15. Gets a call from Andy. Jesus calling as well, looking for that flush. And the turn comes a king of hearts. No spade for Jesus. Andy going to bet it out. $40 is the bet. Both of those bets going on the side here. We've got a side pot. One player is all in. And there's another ace. Andy's still with the better kicker. 2 aces, a king, and a 10. Andy shows the goods, gets the check mark. And he will scoop that pot. That ace on the river was not a spade. Jesus did not make the flush this time. Jesus still our chip leader. And still the winner of this game, up $500 thereabouts, up $435 after losing that pot. Thursday night's the place to be at KoJack's if you're a fan of MLB. Got a couple of different baseball games going on, I think. Got New York versus the Cubs going on right now. And it looks like we've got a seat open here at the live stream game. Not anymore. Money coming back to the table. Another $100. That $100 will play on the next hand. Jesus making a little change at the table. Players kind of discussing what's going on. Moses saying, my Saints are playing right now. Hell yeah, brother. Alexa, tell me the score of the Saints game. How are my Saints doing? Yeah, we're behind. Big surprise there. We're down 3-0 against the Broncos. Yeah, I guess the Saints not doing too good this season. Let's see here. Two and 4 for the Saints. That's pretty typical. Hey, we're not called the Aints for no reason. Flop comes out with 2 spades for Ralph. Ralph with those great shades trying to make a spade flush. Andy with a pair of 10s is behind Will's pair of jacks, who is behind John Wayne's pair of jacks. Turn card. Is it a spade? It sure is. Ralph making the king high flush. He's got the check mark. He's got a lock on this hand. If it goes to showdown, he wins. John Wayne is all in for his $88. He's got the jack paired. He's got the jack high flush draw. But he is drawing dead. John Wayne turning over his hand. Ralph knows exactly what he's up against. Turns over his hand as well. Not sure if we're running it twice. And there's an 8 of diamonds for the first run out. John Wayne drawing dead. The ace of clubs comes out on the second. Ralph scoops both pots. John Wayne may be adding on for more. And we've made it up to hand number 23. I want to say 11 or 12 of those hands have been all in at some point during the hand. So again, not short of action here on this full moon Thursday. Thirsty Thursday. We got a lot of chips flying around the table. Got a lot of action going on here. Daniel in the chat saying that looks like some good old fun. Yeah, it really does. I've got this itch right now. The only way to scratch it is by sitting down at that table. We'll have to see what happens after this live stream ends. If I can find a couple of bills, see what happens. Daniel, we are running a 1-2 game in the main room as well. It's not being live streamed. I did spy a couple of seats open on that just moments ago. If you want to come on by and play some, I'm sure that table is good old fun as well. Tony B with the J7. Looks like he's throwing out a calling chip. Jesus likes the king 4. Let's see if he can get 2 pair again. Fabian coming along for the ride with the 5-4. Ralph with the 9-7 makes the call. And we are 6 ways to the flop. 3 cards coming out. Queen, Jack, Trey, 2 spades. Tony B making the pair of jacks. No player holding a queen, but Jesse is up and down, looking for a straight here. Turn card is a 10. Jesse makes a pair. Now Ralph is up and down. Jesse and Ralph both holding 9s, drawing to the same flush. Or, sorry, the same straight. And that river card, here it comes. 32 in the middle, 5 players still. And there's a 9. No, nobody holding an 8. But Jesus does improve to the king high straight along with No Name. Ralph bets out. No Name raising it up to $25. Jesus makes the call. Jesse, a sigh, has to let it go. Ralph may know he's beat here. He does fold. He does know he's beat, and it is a chopped pot. Jesus and No Name making a small profit on that $86 pot. Full Moon Thursday. Thirsty Thursday. One of my favorite days of the week. Hand number 23 on the books. That was the Michael Jordan of poker hands for this live stream. That means we're moving on to hand number 24. A lot of hooting and hollering here at KoJack's today. A lot of different games going on our TVs. I'm sure a lot of bets being placed off of the poker table as well. Andy with the 8-6 under the gun here. Tony B, the 7-5 suited. Blinds have been updated. 1-1-2. We do not do dead buttons in our cash games here. Sometimes that'll happen. Look at this. Ralph with the aces. He's got the right idea. The ace of spades. He's going all in. Will with the 4-3. Looking around. Maybe Hollywooding for a minute. Tony B, the 7-5 suited. All in to call. Folds it into the muck. Will gets out of the way. Jesse JC is going to fold as well. Ralph chipping up a little bit more with those pocket aces. Hey, better to win a little than to lose a lot. That's what I always say. And we've been going strong on this stream. Charlie's game. I did update the titles. It says 1-2 round of each. Re-update these titles here. Thanks for sticking with me, everybody. If you are in the chat, I do appreciate you. If you're commenting in the chat, I also appreciate you. If you leave a like, I appreciate you a little more. Thanks for checking us out. KoJack's Live is live on this Full Moon Thursday. Tony B, King 7 of clubs. And it looks like Jesse JC going all in, putting his head down, not giving anything away, and then pops up and starts talking a little bit. Will folds, Cole folds.
That was the last hand of the stream.
Andy folds. Jesus with the queens. Uh-oh. Jesse JC with the ace jack in trouble here. Tony B makes the call for 50. Jesus just with a smooth call here. Wants to see what the flop brings. 6-5 tray. Fairly safe flop. 4 pocket queens. Tony B with 1 club on the board. Looking for a 4 for a straight or running clubs to suck out on the pocket queens. Tony checks his option. Jesus going to be betting. $50. Tony B all in to call here. Tony B thinking about it. King 7. He's got the backdoor flush draw. He's got the straight draw. He's got the overcard. 2 overcards. course, we know that 7 would be no good. If it hits, he calls. 2 players all in, both at risk, both behind to Jesus. Jesus waving his hands. No ace, no king, he says. There's a 5 of clubs. Tony B is live. 33% equity for Tony B. He's got a lot of outs. Is it too many outs? Let's see what that river card brings. It's a 6. Jesus taking both stacks. Jesse JC out. Tony B out for now. A couple of players moving back to the telephone area. Looks like Jesse JC pushing in his chair, maybe down and out for the count. Hand number 25 on the books. I think about 15 of those we've seen all ins at some point during the hand. We are not... We have no shortage of action at this particular 1-2 game. And it looks like we will be wrapping up this stream here in about 9-10 minutes, somewhere along those lines. Usually stream till about 8:30 or so. That is about the timetable that we've got for tonight. It is a full moon out there. I have heard from our junior lunar correspondent, Mr. Frank Espino, that the moon looks really cool. Heard from our senior lunar correspondent, Mr. Chris Gwynn, the IT guru working in the booth behind me, that it's supposed to be a super moon tonight. Take some pictures. Heard a funny joke the other day. If global warming isn't real, then how come we have so many full moons and so many super moons these times? Couple of ones going on the table. And a couple of green chips headed that way. Looks like Tony B coming back in for the very nice prime number, 111. Like those repeating numerals. I am a sucker for symmetry. And Jesus still the far and away chip leader, up to $800 in his stack. He's up about $600 on the session. Not too shabby, if you ask me. No Name in second place, up $255. Ralph in second place, up $294. No Name up $255. No Name this time with the ace-9 offsuit. Going to raise it up to $12. Cole next to act with the pocket deuces. Deuces never loses. Got a TV back there with the New York game on right now. Smattering of hands. We've got 6 players going into the flop. Tony holding the Charlie hand, the 5 tray. Flop comes out 10-8 deuce. Cole with a set right there on the flop. Cole up to $457 in his chip stack. He's only down $4 on the session. Let's see how he piles in the money. What is his technique for this hand? Starts off by betting $30 on the button as it checks around to him. Tony folds. Will with the pair of eights. He's going to call. Cole giving just the right price to entice two players along. Here comes the turn card. It's a 9. Cole officially gets the check mark. No Name making a pair of 9s, beating out Will's pair of 8s, but both players well behind. Cole's 3 of a kind there. No Name betting $50 into Cole. Cole says, you know what? I don't want your $50. I want all of it. Unfortunately, No Name. Unfortunately for Cole, No Name folds. Cole chipping up even further. Now heartily in the black. Cole at $641 in his stack, up $168 on the session. Big winner is still Jesus, though. A couple of barrels of reds, almost a full barrel of greens. The white chips that you're seeing in play are worth $1 each. It is a 1-2 game. Red chips are worth $5 each. And the green chips are worth $25 each. A couple of seats open. This game likely to keep running for a long time after the stream runs out. So if those seats seem to be calling your name, oh, I got good news. You got a good spot for you ready to go. We are also running a 1-2 game and a 5 on the button game in our main room. I say come on by and check it out. It is Full Moon Thursday after all. Cole gonna 3-bet ace queen of clubs. Fabian with the trick shot. I like that. Cole raising it up to $30. No Name calling with a pair of 6s. Flop comes out queen high. No 6 for No Name. Cole's going to bet 25. No Name makes the snap call. Hard to give your opponent credit for a queen. Checks over. 50 bucks is the bet. 50 bucks is the call. No Name seems to be committed at this point. It's a 5 on the river. Wow, No Name bets 100. A good time for that. Cole has to decide whether his top pair top kicker is beat by trip 10s or trip 5s. Can Cole sniff this one out? No Name with the stare. I like that. These two players sitting right next to each other. Ooh. Cole folds. No Name shows the pocket 6s. Cole says, oh well. If you're not getting bluffed some of the time, you're not playing the game right. Likewise, if you're not bluffing some of the time, you're not playing the game right either. This is a game of incomplete information. You got to use that to your advantage. I believe this is the last hand of the live stream. The final hand. Hand number 28. Thank you for watching with us. KoJack's Live, bringing you another crazy game of 1-2. Thursday is the spot to watch some crazy poker action. Fabian with the Queen Jack finally picking up a hand, and he's going to bet it out $6 right there. And Cole picking up another hand, 3 in a row. Ace King this time. Tony with the pocket deuces. We've already seen one set of deuces. Let's see if Tony can make another. Fabian makes the call. 4 ways to the flop, 62 in the middle. Shane saying, shh, don't tell anybody. Seven trade deuce. There's another set of deuces. Tony way ahead on this one. Will does have the flush draw. He wants precisely one more spade to come out. Too many spades come out. Cole will take the king high flush. Tony bets 25 on the button. Looks like Will makes the snap call. All in. 29 is the bet there. Fabian with the queen jack. Almost no choice but to fold. Maybe a look of minor frustration. Finally gets a hand, and it is no good after the flop. Cole with the ace-king. Can he fold? Wow, an 8 of spades comes off. Will improves to the best hand. He now has a flush. Cole with the second nut flush draw, though, does fold after Tony goes all in. Set versus flush. If the board pairs, oh, there's another ace. Cole would have made the nut flush on the river. And Will takes it down. He's got the check mark, beating Tony's set of deuces. And that'll do it for our live stream. What a way to go out. Unbelievable action the entire time. We sure have had a good time here on this Thursday. Thanks for joining us, everybody. Again, we do have a couple of games running this live stream game, though it will not be live streamed anymore. Will guaranteed be running for at least another couple of hours. And then we've got another 1-2 game running in the main room, and we've got a 5 on the button game running too. So plenty of action to be played here, plenty of sports on all of our TVs. So come check us out here at KoJack.